Hey guys, welcome back to another impressions video, this time around for Overwatch for the PlayStation 4. A game that's been out for a couple of months, but I have been slacking a little bit as far as making video and content for my channel, so here I'm back doing some impressions. And Overwatch, even though it's been out for a couple of months, I keep coming back to this game just because of its very fun and addictive nature of the game. And that started all the way back when the beta was released, a month prior to the release of the game. And I downloaded the beta, put many hours into it, and had a lot of fun. And oddly enough, the beta was basically the game itself. It had a lot of stages, all the characters available, with the exception of Anna, I believe. So the beta was a very complete one, and I think it did a good job on selling people, the game basically. And I really enjoyed the beta. I put a lot of hours into it, and but as some of you guys remember in my I think June pickup video, which is I believe that's when Overwatch came out. I think it was June of this year. I was very proud of myself for not picking this game up on release, and reason being, I knew this game was going to be very addicting. But as the days and weeks went by, I saw a lot of my friends playing this online, and they finally convinced me. They were like, "Hey man, you need to play this. We know you like online games like Battlefield, so you need to buy this game." And sure enough, I succumbed to the peer pressure and ended up buying this game. No regrets, but something really bad happened, obviously, which is I got addicted to this game. It's really fun. So my backlog has grown exponentially ever since I bought Overwatch, because this game has been taking a lot of my free time ever since I bought it, which I bought this game I think a month after its release. Some 30 days after its original release. So yeah, I put a lot of hours into it. I should have checked before I started shooting this video, but I would estimate I already have some 70 hours into the game, which is not a whole lot compared with some people out there, which are crazy. I believe I'm level 60 something, maybe 66. But there's some people out there that have like the prestige, the stars, and some people have 2 stars, 3 stars, and it's insane how much time a lot of people are devoting into this game. And I'm not surprised at all. Basically put, Overwatch is one of the most fun games I've played in a long time. It has a very easy to pick up and play nature, very different characters to choose from, but it's fun learning each character, and it's fun learning each level and stage. And obviously playing with friends online makes the game so much more fun. As far as story-wise, there's not a whole lot to say. Basically the only story tidbit that the game gives you, it's at the opening screen. There's a cinematic with Winston, basically explaining how the heroes from Overwatch came to be, and that's about it. And it leaves you with this intriguing, with wanting to know more about these characters, because if there's one thing where Overwatch succeeds is at making the characters very lively. They all have their own personality, and it's just very fun to get to know each character. And the thing is, the game doesn't provide you a story mode or anything like that to learn more about them. So you have to do the homework yourself, and you have to, for example, there's an Overwatch official channel on YouTube that has this cinematic sequences for each character, their story in the past, and they're really fun to watch. I've started watching them recently. I know DMP, Devil May Pie, sent me a couple of links to those videos, and it's really fun. These cinematics are very well made. They look like a Pixar movie, or all 3D animated, and they really add up to the lore of the game, really. And there's a lot of fan fiction out there. People just love the characters. People love the quote-unquote mysterious story behind the characters, because, like I said, you have to work in order to find out more about the characters. And I think that's part of the charm of the game, and part of why the community is so strong and so interested and invested into the fan fiction and the overall lore of the game. And but the beauty of this is, if you don't care about the characters or anything like that, the game is out there, for you. There's no story mode. This is all online, competitive type of playing or gameplay. So if you don't care about the story, that's fine. Just jump into the game. It's very easy. The quick play menu, just you're online playing with people, and obviously this game is incredibly popular. It has been breaking sales records. You know, Blizzard is doing really well as far as sales. So it's really easy to find people to play online with. The matchmaking is a little bit dubious, unfortunately. When I first, I bought the game a month after it got released, and I was being placed with like all these expert people, high-level people, which is a little bit annoying, especially if you're a low player type of player, and you're still trying to learn the levels and the characters, and you're being put with like all these pros out there. But nevertheless, it's still fun. It's a learning curve that I think it's pretty easy to learn the basics of the game, and you're already into the action, contributing to the team. Just a couple hours into the game. That's another thing about Overwatch, that the game itself doesn't offer a whole lot of content. The amount of stages and game modes that are available are incredibly limited. But it's hard to explain. Even though the game does not have a lot of stages, a lot of gameplay modes, you have your payload, defense, and attack. You have your conquest type of gameplay mode where you have to capture a point and hold it for the longest time. So very simple. If you have played first-person shooters beforehand, you know exactly what to expect in terms of the basic gameplay. Yeah, not a whole lot of stages, not a whole lot of game modes, but it's still very fun. It's kind of like Battlefield. The Battlefield games, when they first released, they don't have a lot of levels, and if you want to get more levels, you have to buy the DLC or the season pass. Now, the cool thing with Overwatch is they will roll out new characters and new stages over time, and in fact, they already released a new character and a new level, and they're free. So that's a really cool thing. And thumbs up to Blizzard for doing this. Now, some people were complaining about the nature or the price of the game to begin with. The console versions of this game is $60 versus the PC version, I believe, is only $50. So a little bit of a price discrepancy there. But for somebody like me who has played this for over 70 hours or whatever, I haven't checked the clock before this video, but for somebody that has put 70 plus hours into this game, I think paying $60 it's really nothing. And I'll gladly pay $60 on day one if a game can keep me entertained for that long. So, and I'm still gonna go back to this. I've slowed down a little bit, thankfully, so I need to catch up with other games. But yeah, the price point is something that people complain a little bit about. And another thing that people complain, and I kind of agree with them, is the microtransactions in the game, which in a way Blizzard did it pretty well, in the sense that when you spend money, everything is basically for aesthetics purposes. You spend money to get new sprays, new skins for your characters. So you don't have to spend money for new levels, for new weapons, for new levels, new characters, and whatnot. But the very crappy thing about Blizzard doing this is that when you spend money, you get loot boxes, and you don't have control of what you are going to get in the loot boxes. So it's very frustrating, because there are some really cool looking skins out there that you really want for your character, and it would have been really nice to have the option to just downright buy whatever you were interested in. So the microtransactions in this game are a little bit scummy in a way, but in another way, it's good that they're not hiding levels and characters behind a paywall. But it's very frustrating, because I know I have a couple friends that were trying to get certain skins for certain characters, and they keep buying loot boxes, and they don't get exactly what they want. They keep getting old skins, and the amount of money you get in the game or in the loot boxes is not good enough. You have to level up constantly and getting loot boxes with coins in order to finally get a certain amount of coins that you can use to buy a preferred skin or something like that. So it takes time in order for you to get exactly what you want, and that's a little bit frustrating. But other than that, I think the game it shines in just about everything. And this game, in my opinion, to me, it reminds me of a Nintendo game. Now, you may be thinking, what kind of Nintendo game is similar to Overwatch? Nintendo has never made a first-person shooter online. And that's true. I mean, I guess Splatoon is the closest thing, but I'm not referring exactly to the genre or the gameplay type. I'm referring to the quality of the product itself. When you play Overwatch, this is such a high-quality game from top to bottom. Whether it's the netcode, which is basically flawless in the 70 hours plus that I play in this game. I've been disconnected a couple of times, and it's been laggy just a couple of times, but for the most part, I would say 90% of my gameplay time, no problems with the netcode whatsoever. And it reminds me of Mario Kart 8, which has another impeccable netcode, and it's very, very fun to play with other people. But just the overall presentation, it really reminds me of Nintendo. Very high quality, colorful graphics, very charming, very warm and welcoming to the player as far as presenting the game. Of course, the controls are top notch, very tight, very high quality. If you have played first-person shooters beforehand, the controls here are very intuitive, very well placed. The physics of the characters, and then obviously the stage design, the level of the characters, and the overall quality of the game. There are no glitches. Basically, I've never run into one where you get stuck in a wall, or you see clipping, or things like that usually are found in other kind of like third-party games. But this game reeks of Nintendo quality type of budgeting and producing material, which is no surprise here. This game is developed by Blizzard. They have a very long story of producing quality titles, especially for the for the PC, obviously. So they're one of the top developers in the world. So it's no surprise to see that this is a high quality product that it's being enjoyed by millions of people. And then to close it all, guys, I mean, there's not really a whole lot to talk about Overwatch other than it's a very addicting game, and it reminds me in a way also. Obviously, it's a first-person shooter in a way, but it offers so many different layers of replay value because of the characters. Each character in this game is so much different from the previous one. Each character has its own strengths and weaknesses, and each character can change the ties of battle in a second. So the fact that you're able to pick between characters, they all look different, they all have their own personality, and they all have their own mechanics and gameplay. So that to me is one of the most fun parts. Choosing the characters, getting to learn the characters. And in fact, I already played this for many hours, and I haven't touched, for example, Genji. I haven't touched Hanzo. Those are there's like between 2 and 5 characters that I haven't really played too much, because I'm still learning from other characters in the game that I keep using. For example, I discovered Symmetra recently. I really like playing with her as a defender, and placing her little laser turrets everywhere, and it's just so much fun playing with her. So as I play the game, I keep finding more characters, and I keep learning more abilities and how to use them properly, and it's really fun. And it reminds me of a fighting game where a fighting game has each fighting character, whether it's a Street Fighter or a King of Fighters game, each character has its own personality, its own fighting style. And in Overwatch is the same thing. It's not like a Battlefield game where you play as a soldier and that's it. Sure, each soldier has different abilities. If you play as an engineer, as a medic, as an assault, as a recon, so there are different little things here and there. But Overwatch, they take it up a notch. And each character feels completely different from the previous one. So it's really fun mastering each character. It's really fun trying them out in different stages and whatnot. And just among my favorites, I would say Soldier 76 is my favorite one, because just how balanced that character is. You can use him on attack, on defense. He can heal himself, he can heal others, he can run, he can shoot rockets, and he has a pretty well-balanced weapon. So I really like playing as Soldier 76. It's a very balanced character. I like playing as Bastion, obviously, on defense, which, if you can find the right spot to set up your turret, you're good to go. You can, kill a lot of people like in that way. Playing the heavy, tank characters, I like playing as Roadhog. I like playing as Reinhardt. Once you get to master his abilities, he's a pretty fun character to play with. I like playing as Winston on attack, because he can disrupt the flow of the game just by jumping everywhere and using his laser weapon. He's really fun to use, and like I say, playing on defense, Symmetra is really fun to use. I like using Mei, the ice girl. She's pretty fun to use as well, both for attack and defense. I really like using her. Reaper, he's also a very useful character. If you can teletransport everywhere and then use his special, the die. It's really useful if you can sneak up on characters. But I do have to admit, as far as healing characters, I'm not really good at it, at using them. For some reason, I like using Mercy, for example, but I don't feel I'm as good as other players. For some reason, when I play healing characters, I'm not as useful to the team when I play with other characters. But that's the beauty of Overwatch. It has different characters, different styles, and you can rely on your friends or on other people using different characters in order to have a well-balanced team. And communication is a key. I enjoy playing this game with friends, using the party chat. That way we can communicate and coordinate our attacks or defense, whatever it's you're playing. But overall, Overwatch is a fantastic game, guys. It's very addicting for somebody like me who enjoys online games. This is a no-brainer. If you guys enjoy online games, give Overwatch a shot, because this is a very addicting game. So that's it for now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all later.